The only way to get from point A to point B and to be truly happy at point B, you have to be truly honest to yourself. We're on!
We're on. Hello.
Good evening. It's actually night, so welcome back to another video podcast. This is Misa.
And this is Yuka.
And welcome to the
Misa Yuka podcast.
We're so excited. It's like pretty late.
It's always late.
It's always kind of late, but it's like our late night talks.
Yes.
I feel like that's when our
deep talks happen.
Yeah, the deep talks happen.
Deep talks.
Yeah, during the night. So we're excited that you're here and our family is growing. We should have a name for our family soon.
Yeah, soon.
Don't you think so?
Soon.
Yeah, so we might ask you guys what kind of family name. Yeah. No. No, okay.
I don't know if anyone has that in Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
You can people call themselves something.
I know, but I know in America they have stuff like what's up cupcakes?
Yeah,
yeah.
Should we call you guys cupcakes? Or pumpkins? No. Anyways, we're back with another episode. If you're new here on this channel, we're two sisters living in Tokyo. We grew up in the States. And on this channel, we do all English podcasts, all Japanese podcasts. We're kind of doing whatever we want to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have gone through a lot of identity crises. But we decided that this year we're just gonna be honest to ourselves and we're just gonna do whatever we want to do. And we hope you guys enjoy.
Yes.
Right? And so today's theme is... But before getting into the theme, we have this little thing that we always do. We always share what we're kind of in, or we try different snacks and we kind of have fun in the beginning before we get into the podcast. So today I got umeshu, plum wine. Is this called plum wine?
Yeah, it's called plum wine.
We got plum wine just from a regular supermarket.
Or plum liquor.
Plum liquor. Okay. 梅酒です。こちら梅酒でございます。Yeah, so okay, let's this is always a fun time for me where I get to explore with my little sister, Yuka. I actually don't really...
Do you like to call me little sister a lot?
Yeah.
It's so funny. I think you always call me little sister. But you know Kendall and Kylie Jenners? Kendall always calls Kylie...
Friend?
No, baby sister.
Oh, wow.
She says that's really fun to say. Try it.
My baby sister?
No.
It's because Yuka... Okay. But we should do ASMR. Hear anything?
Okay, yeah, right. Let me just do the dribble. You don't even drink that much.
Yeah. And then let's do the sparkling water. Are you gonna just drink straight?
Wait, let me just try it.
Okay.
Oh, should we cheers?
Cheers. Without me. Oishii. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's really good.
Wow.
Oh, it's really good. 本当の梅干しみたい. It really tastes like the honey plums. But it's really strong.
Wow, it's so good.
But it's better diluted. But
wow, that's so really good. That's really I can drink it straight.
Yeah, it tastes really good straight. 梅干しじゃない?
梅干し. Here.
Wow. I love
this is juice.
I love eating plums, but if you eat it a lot, it's too acidic in your mouth. So then it kills your enamels. And that's why I could only eat one a day. But this, I can drink.
This is 自家製農園産梅 100%, 100% plum. And it has 8% alcohol. And you know what? This was only 600 yen.
I'm so happy you got
500
this.
yen.
It's so
Which
good.
is so cheap. It's so cheap.
Wow.
What the heck? This is so worth, like, this is like a bang, what do you say, bang for the buck? So worth it.
Wow.
This is so good. There were a lot of like cheap, but like it, like
Which store did you
good
get it
looking.
from?
It was just like a diet
Oh.
very close to my house. I know. It's so good. Wow.
Wow, this is really good.
This is
like,
really good.
honestly, it's really good.
I am blown away. Actually, I think I'm gonna drink a little bit more, and then I'll do it with like a sparkling water.
Okay. Oh.
탄산수유를 먹자.
Alright.
Let's do the ASMR. Ooh. That's cute. That sounded really cute.
Try it out.
Wow, it's so good.
Really?
Wow, it's so good. There's like,
good.
I would like a different word to express myself right now. Like, it's so good. Oh
It's
God.
so good.
That's so good.
Wow.
Wow. This is like what you get in Japan. This is why I love Japan and I cannot move back. To the States.
The drinking it straight is like
The best, actually.
really good. Oh my
It's like,
God.
oh God, it's so good. So if you
I
are,
feel like your blush is enhanced.
is it like red? I do get Asian glow. I do get Asian glow.
That's funny.
Yeah, anyways, getting plum wine in Japan is very cheap, very affordable.
You guys should try it.
You guys should really try it. I'm gonna put the sparkling water here. This is what we have today. And if you are an alcoholic, just kidding.
No.
No, if you are,
If
like,
you
just
love
like,
plums,
yeah.
I think this is the best. Or if you're not really good with alcohol, I think this one's like
yeah,
will do really well.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't really do well with alcohol at
Yeah.
all. I don't drink that much, but like plum wine is something.
It's
that I like.
basically like concentrated juice.
Yeah,
So it's good.
and it's like it's good. It's like good. It's like beginners.
It's a beginner juice.
It's a beginner like alcohol. So yeah, you guys should try it. Yay! So like grab a drink tonight. Join us. All right. So let's dive into.
Let's dive into the podcast to the theme of being what it means to be honest
Yeah.
to yourself, like living an honest life.
Yeah. Because I was talking to a lot of people in the beginning of the year, and a lot of my friends said that their goal this year is to be honest to themselves.
So what brought you to that thought? You know, like there has to be something that you did last year that made you think about the goal for this year.
Well, I was like also listening to a podcast, and then it was talking about how to know if you're honest to yourself, and it was like a Mel Robbins podcast. But yeah, this brought me because I think my whole life I haven't been honest to myself. Meaning that, I mean, I did like dance. I did a lot of things that I like to do. And also like studying too. I like that. But at the same time, sometimes I was like forced into it.
Right.
Which like you kind of have to be forced into a lot of things to test it out. You can't be like, you can't be so clear in the very beginning, right? Like in the beginning days of your life on Earth, you can't be like, sorry, like I don't like that. I'm not gonna do it because you don't even know, right? But I feel like as you get older, you start to know what you like and what you don't like. And for the longest time, I didn't really know myself. And so I didn't really know what I like actually liked. I studied so hard because that's all I knew, right?
You only knew how to study?
Or I only knew, like, that's only, like, people said if you get good grades in school, you go to college. Like, you go to a good college. And then if you do well in college and if you do all these internships, people say you get a good job.
Right.
And if you get a good job, people are, striving to get that big paycheck, right? So like that's all I knew. So it's kind of like it was already like set for me, and that's what everyone was doing. So I was doing it because like remember that one time I was also pre-med.
Yeah,
I literally
that's so
was
funny.
aiming to go into medical school at one point of my life in college because I got into UC Berkeley. I wanted to do interdisciplinary studies. I wanted to make my own major. And so as a freshman, I go into the admissions office and then I was like, hi, like I'm going to do interdisciplinary studies. I heard you can make your own major, right? And I want to do health and dance because I think they're connected.
It's so connected.
It's so connected. I was like, I want to see how dance can affect
health.
Like I want to see how dance can affect communities in a healthy way. And then all they said was like, oh, you're a freshman. You should like explore. You can't make your own major right now. You should explore. And so I like, and then, so I was like taking a lot of dance classes, but then I realized a lot of my friends were pre-meds, right? They were like, trying to get into medical school. And so a lot of their classes were like biology, chemistry. And all I was doing, like I was taking a lot of dance classes and stuff, doing stuff that I loved, right? And then so I was like, oh, shoot. I compared myself then. And I was like, oh my God, maybe I should do pre-med. And then I literally the next month, like the next semester, I was just doing biology and chemistry.
Yeah.
And I like, but my first semester, I like finished half a minor for dance.
That's so crazy. I can't believe you were doing biology and chemistry and then you didn't think to yourself, like, this is so difficult. Like, what am I doing? Like, where am I
so
going
not honest
towards?
I was like not honest to myself. I was like trying to like fit in to where everyone else was going to. And I didn't know better. Like that's all I knew. I was like, this is the right path. Everyone's doing it. I want to be like everyone. So I think like that's an example of me not being honest to myself, trying to like being so hyper aware of what other people are doing.
That's like everyone though, like in corporate or not in corporate, but I guess like after everyone graduates, there's a road of, going into corporate.
Right.
And then everyone's doing that. So you're kind of like, you're doomed. Like, that's where...
that is when doomsday happened.
You're like, that's like the only way into the society, it seems like.
It seems like. And I don't know how I feel about that.
But society shows it to us like that. Like, that is where you go after you graduate. Like, I think everyone around us, like, went into corporate.
Yeah. And we did, too.
Yeah, we did, too.
Oh, yeah. And you are still in corporate.
I'm still in corporate. And I think, but I think Gen Zs these days, they kind of, like...
No.
Like, they know a lot more than us because of social media.
Right. And
the social media provides extra information of what life could be like. You can be an influencer. You can be anything
that you
can build your own company, and social media will tell you how. And so they have like extra information that we didn't have. And I guess like they're more honest. Like they're like, I don't feel like going to corporate.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like it's so funny. I feel like we're kind of in like the in-betweens of a millennial and a Gen Z. We're kind of like half, right? But if you really talk to like Gen Zs, like 24-year-olds and under, it's so funny. They're so clear.
They're so honest and blunt and clear.
That it makes like older people, like kind of uncomfortable sometimes in a corporate setting. And sometimes me too. I'm like, oh, that's like, you're being too honest. But I think that's really cool. To a certain extent. If they're like too blunt, like too like rude, then that would be like a problem. But I feel like, like younger people these days are so honest to themselves.
If they don't like it, they don't like it. They say it.
Yeah.
If they don't feel like showing up today, they don't show up.
It's so refreshing.
If they don't like a job, they quit immediately.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need a backup plan anymore. Everyone just kind of does it when they want to because they're so honest to themselves and they know that being in this position will, like, not do them any good.
Yeah, and I think that's like a really, like, if that's a
fresh mindset.
Yeah, that's a really, like, breath of fresh air for like how I see it. But like even like Gen Z's, like not everyone's like that. Right. So it's kind of like, how do you be so honest to yourself? Right. I think that's so
like,
hard.
What does it mean
to be
honest to yourself?
So this year, what I think is saying no, like having the bravery and courage to say no to things and being okay with giving up on some things are the two things that I'm like trying to practice, or like that I'm like practicing like too much, I think, lately. I'm saying no to a lot of different people, different things that I did last year, but I'm like saying no this year. I'm also giving up on like trying to be so good, right? Even when like, I guess like sometimes replying to people and stuff like that, or like things that I don't want to do. I'm just okay. I kind of gave up being that really good girl.
Yeah, you're always the
yes, like the people pleaser.
Yeah, the people pleaser.
Yeah,
the teacher's pet. Oh my God,
I'm such a teacher's pet.
You need to stop being a teacher's pet. Like, it makes me look really bad.
No, I am like a chronic teacher's pet.
So ridiculous.
I'm a chronic people pleaser.
Yeah.
Like, I'm chronically like that. And I think I was like built for it. So it's so uncomfortable. So that's why I think corporate settings are not good for me, because there's always someone above me, right? And I'm trying to please that person and not trying to please myself. And then once that happens, I am living a different person's life, and I can't and then that eventually makes me really unhappy. And so I think it's really good for me that I left the corporate culture so that I don't have another person above me, and I like all I have to think of now is how to make myself happier, right?
I think you made a really good point of like living someone else's life.
Yeah,
that's kind of dishonesty, right? Like,
that's
being honest to yourself.
And so like I think I've been trying to live another person's life, and it's because I am chronically like that. I can't help myself. If I have someone above me, I try so hard to make them happy, sometimes sacrificing my happiness, my own happiness and my own needs. And so now, like this year, like I'm just practicing like being okay. Yeah, I told myself I gave up.
Right.
And it's okay to give up on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because we never give up. We never gave up on abacus. We never gave up on piano. Right? It's sometimes okay to give up on different things.
Yeah, I feel like you never gave up on a lot of things.
I never gave up. I was
more like, it's done. It's done.
Yuka's so chill.
I was like, oh, Misa's done with piano. I'm done with piano.
Yeah, and you're like okay with it too.
Yeah,
I was never okay with it.
I was okay with it because it wasn't my thing.
No, yeah, it's so funny. Like you're like, oh, that's not my thing. That's not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
and then you're like, I'm not gonna drink that tea.
Yeah,
it's gross, and then you don't do it. I'm like this. I'm like, ooh, that's not my cup of tea, but like I'll take a sip and then I'll try it.
You're like, maybe it can be.
Yeah, maybe it can be. So this is a thing. Like this is really bad with relationships too. It's like, oh, maybe this person can, be good to me. No. No. If the tea sucks, the tea sucks.
Yeah.
If the tea's not good, it's not good forever.
Yeah, because it ultimately was like, I was like not happy doing piano when I was like a kid. I think it was like the mindset was not there. You know?
Yeah.
Like now I'm like, I wish I played the piano, or
okay.
I do wish that.
The piano is always here for you.
Yeah.
It's always here.
I do wish that, but it was just like when I was younger, I was like, not in it, not into it. I would fall asleep during the lessons.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I feel like
yeah.
we were both asleep while doing the lesson, and we're just kind of like playing with our eyes closed. I felt so bad for the teacher, and
we thought like our hands were automatic.
Yeah,
and it's like I didn't like playing the piano.
But it's all about the mindset.
It's all about the mindset. It was like I feel like I was kind of forced into piano.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a clear goal of like where, like why you're playing the piano and like for what reasons, you know?
Yeah, and mom said like we're playing the piano to practice grit.
No, she said I'm playing the piano because my memory is bad. Now look at me. I have like such great memory.
I don't have good memory.
Yeah. So it's
like
a mystery.
even like abacus was to practice grit. Piano was like to practice grit. I wanted to play the guitar, and I still want to.
Yeah,
that's one thing I want to do.
The guitar is still there.
The guitar is still there. Like I'm getting it, but that's like I think one thing when we were like. We were not honest, like we were kind of forced into it. But now as adults, I think and especially this year and like to this day, I think we have the power to be honest to ourselves, right? And I think it's like also, so like, and also I think listening to the whispers inside your head and not ignoring it is so important.
Yeah.
Like my favorite coach, Marie Forleo, right? She always says, like, listen to the whispers inside your head because that is telling you something. And once you keep on ignoring it, like, it's going to still come up. And sometimes it's going to go away. And then 20 years later, you're still going to have that whisper inside your head and you're going to regret it. So I always tell my friends, like, if they're like, oh, I have this hunch of wanting to do design or go into the arts. I'm like, yeah, like don't ignore those whispers inside your head because it's trying to tell you something for a reason. Right? It's like always for a reason. Right. It's not there like speaking at you with no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's like your inner voice if you think about it.
Yeah.
And recently I heard it's like a really good thing to act on your whispers.
Yeah, it is.
Immediately.
And
because that energy doesn't like linger around for a long time.
Yeah.
It only that energy stays for like maybe like
48.
Yeah. Like 1 to 2 days.
Yeah, 1 to 2 days. And it's just going to be like, see ya.
Yeah, and it's going to get like meh. And then it's going to go away. And it'll come back maybe like a year later, and that's like a waste of time. So
I heard that's like what happens to like creativity. I read this book called Big Magic. If you want to read about it, read it. But it said like creativity also does that too. Like if a creative idea comes to you, it only stays there for like a couple of days or something, and the creativity jumps onto a different person.
What?
Yeah, and then like they get to have it, and if they act on that creativity, it's their thing, and they bring it to life. But it like jumps around.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's why like sometimes you see like, oh my god, I was gonna do that, and someone else is doing it. It's because creativity jumped around.
Wow. We have a troublemaker.
Yeah, like it jumped around and like they made it to life.
Right.
And that's why it gets to become their thing, right? And so when you have like a hunch, you should act on it.
Right.
And
like I've probably seen all of these like in my head before.
Yeah?
I'm just kidding.
This?
Yeah.
I know, I acted on it. I was like, oh, I want it. Like everything. This year, like, yeah. I used to not be good at taking action immediately. Before I got coached. Oh yeah, I want to do the coaching episode too.
Right.
In the future. But before I got like this life coaching thing, I thought I only like for things to happen, I only hoped for it. It's the craziest thing. Like I never like was so, meticulous with like planning. I just hoped it would happen. And my coach laughed at me. It's like, she's kind of like, it's like, oh no, like, you don't just hope for it. You have to act upon it. You have to take action. And I think that's when I learned how to actually take action. And now my friends are like, you take action so quickly. It scares me.
Like, too quickly sometimes.
Yeah, too quickly sometimes.
Like, for
everything. Like, even like negotiation or like when I want to do a specific video, I do it like right away. And I think
that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Not like ignoring the whispers inside your head is so important than ever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we just all gotta live for ourselves, you know, and be honest to what, like, all of our callings and just act upon it. But it's like really hard.
It's so hard.
It's so hard and
there's
difficult.
Yeah.
And there's just so many things going on around us that I feel like I just can't focus on the whispers.
Right. And I think like there's two things that get in the way. I think it's perfectionism. And then, oh no, I forgot the second one. It's perfectionism. And then, oh no, I forgot it. It like jumped around.
Right. Now it's on to me. So I think it's work. Like day-to-day life. Though.
Oh, okay.
I think day-to-day life kind of like stops us unless you put it in the calendar, right? To be honest, I would love to be drawing like every day. But then like I'm so tired from work. I can't do it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Because we all should be taking work seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I always winged work, kind of.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Like, I wing things when I'm told to do something.
Right.
Yeah, but now I don't wing things because it's all from me. But, yeah. But you don't wing it. You're very serious about it. So that's why, like, if I were in your shoes, I would be like kind of winging it and then drawing during work.
I know, that's kind of difficult because
you actually have to do it, right?
No, because my job, the outcome of the product that I'm making can kill someone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like literally. And so that needs to be taken seriously.
Yeah. Like I think any kind of work should be taken seriously. And if you're not, you got to move on to a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's not for you.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. And I think that mindset of, like, it's not, like, you know, how people are in the same career for a long time, but then, that in their little hunch, they know that it's not for them, but they can't accept the fact that
it's not for them.
Not for them because they worked on it for so long.
Yeah.
But to be honest, if you're being honest with yourself, it's not for you, and that's okay.
Okay. Yeah,
like,
being okay.
Start over, and that's so nice, like, to have that kind of mindset that you can start over and you'll still be okay. Like, no one's gonna die, right?
Yeah, no one's gonna die if you have been in a career as a doctor for like many, many years, and then you're like, oh my god, I think I want to be a painter. Right. No one's gonna, you know, like, some people might be sad that you're gonna be leaving your career as a doctor, but some people might be happy that you're gonna be drawing now, you know? My professor at UC Berkeley, she was like a professor for public health, and she like worked, I think she was like a math and English major, right? And then she worked for the not Walgreens, for the Wall Street. Walgreens is a pharmacy in America.
Yeah.
But Wall Street. And then she was like, I think I want to be a doctor. So she quit her job at Wall Street, and then she became a doctor, started to become a doctor, or on her path to become a doctor at age 30. And she became one like by 40.
Right. So, I mean,
She's
that's
happy.
possible.
It's possible, and there's no straight like pathway from point A to point B.
Yeah.
It can be like this, but there's always a point B. There's always a point B. You're not going to be, like, hung on a cliff, right? There's always a point B. But we just don't know how to be there, right?
Right.
But the only thing, like the only way to get to point B is if you're honest to yourself.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And you know how you always talk about like, well, in order to go to point B, you have to quit being at point A, right?
Yeah, you have to.
And then so that means you have to quit. And then, but then my in my mind, when I said I want to quit, but I'm embarrassed of quitting because I have to say.
Yeah, that's when ego comes in. You're like,
say,
ego's like, oh, hi.
I have to say, like, you know, hi, I'm quitting. And I'm sorry. I'm ashamed of myself, you know, bye. You know, I have to say all that thing. And I was so embarrassed. But then you're like, you're being honest to yourself. And like the people are not like, are your coworkers going to pay for your rent?
Yeah.
You know, it's your life. If you're being honest to yourself and you feel like you need to, you know, let go and leave, that's the decision you need to make yourself happy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I think that was a great comment.
That's a great advice, Misa.
That's a great
That's
advice.
a great advice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Misa.
I did not follow that. I still work at my job. But yeah, I was like...
But you changed departments.
Yeah, I'm going to change departments. But
right.
That was like a great advice.
Yeah,
I thought that everyone needs to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like you changed like departments. So like you listen to your whisper.
Yeah.
And then you let go of your ego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should have a name for your ego and be like, oh, just kidding. Never mind. You let go of your, like you have to let go of your ego and like your pride and everything, you know, and then be okay with it and be like, I'm honest. I'm honest.
And you're just making jokes.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think she's bored. Like,
am I bored with life?
Is like, no, you're bored with this topic. No, this is serious, Misa.
I know, but I think we're making a point here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we understand? Like,
yeah,
the only way to get from point A to point B and to be truly happy at point B, you have to be truly honest to yourself. Right. And how to do that is listen to the whispers inside your head, let go of your ego, let go of perfectionism, right? And take care of yourself.
Right. Because being honest leads to your happiness.
Yeah, it really does. And if you're not.
And you know why it's so great to be happy?
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say it?
Sure.
It's so great to be happy. I feel like a student. It's so great to be happy because when you're happy, you get to spread happiness around everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
You have a good point.
Thank you. Yes, it is. Like, you like radiate happiness
towards other people.
Which actually vibes to other people.
Yeah.
And then that makes other people's like day a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
And that's why we should all be happy. Like, if we're stressed, I like heard a podcast yesterday that stress is so contagious that you don't want to be near someone who's stressed or someone who has negative energy because that can like ruin your day like quickly.
Yeah, that's so true.
So the more like happy people we have in this world, the more, you know, everyone's like has good energy.
Yeah.
We love good energy.
Yeah. And I feel that. Like, I feel like before I was a little bit stressed out. I was like kind of mad at myself, mad at everyone.
Yeah, you were mad at this house.
Yeah, I was like mad. But now I'm not.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm happy. You know?
Don't do that smirk.
I think I'm happy. Am I like really red?
Yeah.
I kind of feel red. I think it's like the plum wine. Maybe it's like time for us to leave. But just kidding. But do we understand how being so honest to yourself is important?
Yeah.
So
even like choosing your outfit.
Yeah.
or like
or
going
like even
shopping.
hairstyle.
Yeah, hairstyle.
I was so honest to
shopping.
myself. I was like, I want bangs. I've never had it.
Yeah. You know how people say like, oh, like don't cut your bangs, or like people said to me like, or the stylist was like, no, I don't think you should cut like up to here.
Yeah.
Because
But if you want to do it.
Yeah, if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah, just be honest. And I think I like my bangs, you know? I like my new hairstyle. I like your new hairstyle.
Yeah.
I think I like our new outfits that we've gotten so far, right?
Yeah, that's like the one thing I want to be more honest to myself is like shopping.
Yeah.
Like,
and also what kind of food you want to eat.
Yeah.
Like it really starts off with the small things.
Yeah.
Right? So I know we've been talking about the big things and like being honest in life, but being honest with the small things, like, yeah, what kind of food you want.
Like what will make me happy today?
Yeah. That's like one. That's
what
like
did you do today that you thought will make you happy?
I got coffee.
Oh, that's great.
I bought coffee. I always make coffee, but I like to buy coffee. And I also bought a sandwich at a cafe.
Yeah.
I never do that. I'm just like a coffee girl, but I'm like, I want this, you know, and I bought it.
It's great.
And I ate it while I was editing.
Right.
Yeah. What did you do?
I bought like, that's kind of strict. The tone
so
was
funny.
off a little bit. I asked in a very nice way.
I felt like a tiger mom. Okay.
Yeah, what did you do?
What did you do?
I bought myself some good Mexican food.
Oh, yeah. And we ate it.
Yeah.
That was so good. Guzman
y Gomez. That's my favorite Mexican food place. I went to work every single day this week, and I was so proud of myself for, you know, getting out of bed, getting out of the house, and like taking the train, transferring 3 times every day, every time, and getting there. I was so proud that I was able to do that. So I bought myself some
Mexican food in Japan.
That solves everything.
Yeah. See, so we all start from the small things.
Yeah.
Being honest, making yourself happy each day, just with the smallest things.
Smallest things. Like, literally, sometimes when I look up at the clouds and the skies, it makes me really happy.
See, that's one thing you can do.
Yeah. I told you to look up at the sky, and you're like, I don't like
what
skies.
Stuff? Like, what clouds? Just kidding. I like doing that, Yuka.
No, you don't.
So, do we understand? Did we come to a conclusion?
Yeah, we did.
Make yourself happy each day by being honest with yourself on the smallest of things.
Yeah.
That's our conclusion for tonight. Yay! What a successful podcast again. We always don't know if there's a conclusion, but yeah. That's our conclusion for tonight. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Yay. So we'll be like doing more of these things next week as well. So thank you always for your support. So I hope you guys are having a great day
and a great life.
And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.